Hello everyone, this is going to be a tutorial on how to use the Windmill Shuriken in the Messenger. Um, so the Windmill Shuriken is obviously an extremely powerful item. It's basically my favorite item in the game. It's extremely powerful in New Game Plus speedruns, and in Picnic Panic speedruns, and also in 100% at the towards the end. So yeah, it's used in quite a lot of categories, and a lot of people, when they're new to like the New Game Plus categories, are like pretty scared of Windmill. It's like very intimidating to see people do very complex stuff with them. But I'm going to teach you today some techniques that are used while using the Windmill Shuriken. This is not going to make you like a master of the Windmill Shuriken or anything like that. The thing about Windmill Shuriken is that you basically just know some of the ways it works, like doing double hits on lanterns, something like that, and then you just incorporate them into actual strat finding. Like, you never go into a room and just immediately know how to throw your Windmill Shuriken and get up, right? A windmill climb is a very complicated pre-made strategy, and knowing how to use Windmill Shuriken just allows you to get better at improvising when that strat goes wrong, or just coming up with your own strats. If you look at a windmill and also understanding those strats that have already been made, because if you look at a windmill climb like this, you can do this. You just look at how it's done, and anyone can do this. It's not that hard to just look at it and just do it. But just figuring out what I'm doing here and how it works will allow you to get more consistent at the strat, and just to make up your own strats. So yeah, let's begin. I'm gonna explain some basic things about how the windmill works. So the Windmill Shuriken there's obviously 3 of them. You can throw all 3 at once, and they can all be juggled for as long as you want until you catch them. When you catch them, the windmill bar starts going up again. I think it takes like 2 or 3 seconds to refill one section of the bar, something like that. So the way the Windmill Shuriken works is you obviously throw it, it goes a little bit of a distance and comes back. The Windmill Shuriken has no speed limit on how fast it can go horizontally. So like if I throw it like this and I go away from it, it lashes back to me extremely quickly. Right? Like this time, the time it takes for the Windmill Shuriken to get back to the messenger is roughly just always the same. Right? So it means that if I go away from it, it's gonna come back faster, and it's gonna go away even more next time. Right? And if I go towards it, it means that the amplitude is going to reduce. Like that. There you go. You can see it swinging around a lot less. I'm going towards it, and when it's at its peak, it needs to come back less, so it has less speed. So obviously the messenger catches the Windmill Shuriken when it hits him, but there's actually kind of a cooldown period after you throw a Windmill Shuriken where the ninja cannot catch it. So if you're moving forward and just throw a shuriken, you don't catch it. This is about, I don't know how long the cooldown period is, but this is useful information. For example, if you rope dart throw a Windmill Shuriken and rope dart, you won't catch it. You'll catch it on the way back. if you were, if you stood here, yeah, you'd catch it. The windmill, however, does have a speed limit on how fast it can go vertically. So if I throw a shuriken here, it takes it quite a while to come back down. Right? Like, it can go horizontally very far away. Like that. Like, very far and very fast. But vertically, it can't do that. It takes a while. And that's why anything like that works. Because you can go really far away from the Windmill Shuriken, but the Windmill Shuriken's below you, and it's just going to keep swinging around and hitting things. That's what allows you to do things like that. Okay. So here's some basic techniques on how to use the Windmill Shuriken. The first one is a windmill jump. A windmill jump is extremely simple. This is a slash jump to hit something and then jump off it. Usually slash jumps are done from like ground level. So I think there's an enemy here. So this is a slash jump, right? A windmill jump is basically the same concept, but you just use a windmill instead of a slash, like that. The reason this is a piece of tech is that it works on things that are far away from you, right? So this guy, like, oh my god, this is not a good. Is there any other guy? Okay, this guy. Let me kill this other one guy. This guy, for example, I can't slash jump him from here, right? He's too far away, in case I want. But I can windmill him from that distance. So if I wait for him to leave, I can windmill him like that, windmill jump him. So this is useful for things that are far away from you. One thing about the windmill jump is that when you jump and throw the windmill, it instantly starts to track you, right? Instantly starts to go up. The problem with it instantly starting to go up is that sometimes it might just miss your target. Like, let's say this rock here, you see this rock in the background? Let's say you need to hit that with a windmill jump from here. If you jump windmill and throw the windmill too late, it's not going to hit him. You know? Like, sometimes it hits him, but like it's going to be inconsistent. The way to do a windmill jump is actually just to throw the windmill before jumping. Because the windmill is going to take a little bit of time to reach him. And it's just going to hit. Right? Let me try doing it on this guy again. Let's do it on this fire kappa. This fire kappa is actually a very good example. So you jump windmill him, doesn't work. He's too short. Very short guy. It's just hard to hit him, right? Windmill jump. There you go. You just hit him. Because what happens is the windmill goes straight to the end, and then it tries to track you when you jump. So just a little bit of a technique where you want to actually throw the windmill first and then jump to get consistent windmill jumps. Another thing about the windmill physics, which I forgot to mention, is that the windmill, when you're standing, it tries to track your head. Like, it goes kind of to your head, the ninja's head. In fact, you can even do something like this. You can just like duck dodge it. It's pretty hard, but you can actually just duck and dodge the windmill. You can do this an infinite amount of times. It's very hard, but yeah. So it tries to track your head, but if you're crouching, it goes like below you. I don't know why this happens, but you can actually see it going down, right? This is very important because this allows you to do some windmill climbs that would usually be much harder. Because if you duck and throw and then jump, it's much lower when you jump than it would be if you just like jump windmill. This is also used for windmill juggling. So windmill juggling is just for bosses. I guess I'll talk about windmill juggling right now because we'll be getting into windmill climbs very soon. If there's a boss, you want to juggle your windmill, right? So the way you juggle windmill is, there's two ways to do it. So you always want to start by crouching, throwing your windmill, and then starting the juggle, right? You can do this either the way I just did. You can throw two first, and then you throw one on the next loop around, or you can just throw all three at once. It's just a matter of preference, like that. That's the 2-in-1 method. And you can just do the all three method. I'm not very good at mashing this R1 button very fast, so I like to do the 2-in-1. That's the 3. You can do whatever you want, it doesn't matter. Now the one thing that people struggle with windmill jumping is they don't understand how to short hop. You need to short hop for this thing to work. If you do these full jumps, your windmill juggles are just gonna be shit. And you're just gonna like catch them sometimes, you know. You don't want a full jump. Full jumping is bad for windmill juggling. What you want to do is you want to very short hops, just like that, and you want to crouch after every hop, like that. Another thing is you want to actually jump after the windmill starts tracking you. Like once the windmill starts coming back, that's when you want to jump. You don't want to jump when it's at the peak of its when the windmill's at the peak of its amplitude, because first of all that makes it swing around less, like that. For some reason, I'm not exactly sure what physics makes it do that, but yeah, it starts swinging around less, and it starts going higher as well. You see how high this is? Like that's not good. You don't want that. So make sure the windmill's coming back towards you, then jump over it. Like that, okay? And as you can see me do, you can move around as much as you want. Like you can traverse this whole thing. You don't need to be afraid. You don't need to be like, oh my god, move around a little bit, move a little bit, crouch. You can jump. You can move as much as you want. It's really not that hard to keep these windmill going. The only rule is move away from the direction of the windmill. So if I want to go here, actually will kind of moving in the left direction is easy because you just jump over it and you go left, right? Moving in the right direction is a little bit harder because you kind of want to walk and then turn left to make it swing around more. The goal is to make the windmills keep the windmill swinging around, right? If you just kind of try to go to the right here, the windmill's going to swing around less and less because you're actually moving towards the windmill and then you're going to catch it like I just did. You want to actually make the windmill swing around more if you want to try to move while juggling. So I like to do these small left movements like this when I'm going in this direction. So the reason this is different for these two directions is because on the left, when you jump and go over, you're jumping over the windmill that's coming towards you. So you can just go, when you go forward, the windmill is going behind you. But here, when you jump over the windmill, it's actually going forward. And now you may ask, well, why can't I just walk and then jump? You can. I just don't like to. You can do it like that. Like this. It's perfectly fine. It's probably easier. But it's just kind of confusing to me. I don't like it that much. And yeah, sometimes you can catch it like that. I like crouching. Crouching is very reliable. So I like to just jump over the windmill. The way I was doing it, jump over, go left a little bit, crouch under them, like that. The reason you might want to jump over the windmill at all is because of the Kolos and Suzes fight. Or maybe even the Demon General fight. Those fights make you move around while you're windmill juggling. Obviously, when you're fighting Kolos and Suzes, you also want to mash slash. That doesn't change a whole lot. So yeah, you want to practice doing this if you want to learn Kolos and Suzes. It helps so much with DPS. And I really don't think it's that hard. Okay. So that's gonna be windmill juggling. Now let's get to more of the good stuff, the windmill climbs. So I taught you what a windmill jump is. So a windmill jump can be used anywhere on an object that's far away from you to get one cloud step. What you can also do is a double hit. So the windmill hits the thing while coming back as well as while going forward, and that's how you get a double hit. Like that. The way you do this is you make sure, first of all, the windmill hits the bottom part of this lantern or a cabra if you want. Make sure it hits the bottom so that when it swings around, it actually hits because it's going to be going up. If you hit the top part, it's like not going to work. Let me see if I can show that. Like that. It also helps to be a little bit far away. That's going to give you something like that. Because if you're close, it can be problematic. Now, the height of this lantern is pretty good. So it's not that big of a problem. But being further away actually helps. Like that. Also, if you're close, just double slash the lantern. The sword is always more reliable than the Windmill Shuriken. So if you can double slash it, just double slash it. But yeah, that's how you do a double windmill. Now, the real good stuff is the triple windmill, because the double windmill doesn't even give you that much height. You can get that height, you know. Do that. You have the height. In fact, it's more height, I think. I can reach that black bar with this. I can also. Okay, it's the same thing. But yeah, this kind of height is doable. Now, real good stuff is the triple windmill jump, and for the triple windmill jump, we use the principle of, you know, the windmill being below you. That's a triple windmill jump. So how you want to do that is you set up your windmill in such a way that you go up before it and then it hits the thing. Now again, crouch throwing this helps so much. Like, you'll find an increased consistency by just so much when you start crouch throwing. You can do this climb without crouch throwing. It's possible, but like, it's just so much harder. It's much harder. Crouch throw, you can do it every single time. So yeah, to set this up, you usually want to do like either like a double slash, which gives you less height but it's faster sometimes, or you want to do this crouch throw and then jump and wingsuit slash. Just jump slash, wingsuit slash, jump, and you'll get another cloud step. You can also do it with the double windmill. Combine it with the double windmill. So throw this, hit that, and then it'll hit again, and there you go. Get up, that. Out throw, double hit, and then this first windmill is gonna go and hit that lantern. So like, when you just look at this might look pretty complicated, but once you know the principle, it's pretty simple, right? You're just combining the technique for the triple windmill with a very simple double windmill. This double windmill is very simple. The triple windmill, you might need some practice, but it's pretty simple as well. Just do that, and you just get up, right? So just combine these two things, and you already have a pretty cool looking windmill climb. And it's not even hard, right? So that's a triple windmill climb. I'm going to show you a quad windmill climb. Off this lantern, I can get 4 cloud steps. So how this is going to work is I'm going to put 2 windmill down here, and then I'm going to do the triple windmill jump. It's going to be the same as the triple windmill jump, but what's going to happen is obviously the second windmill is also going to hit the lantern after the first windmill. So I need to use the cloud step from the first windmill really quickly, so that use this cloud step as fast as possible, so that the next windmill comes and hits it and I don't have a cloud step. The thing about windmill climbs is that you got to make sure that when the windmill hits the thing you want it to hit, you don't have a cloud step, so it gives you a cloud step, right? So do that, and then do that, and then there you go. I got up to the next screen and I have another cloud step. So this is a triple windmill climb, and this is the quad windmill climb. Now the thing to the most important thing is, of course, the cloud step management. If you just kind of chill on this, you're not going to get the next cloud step, right? Because both of them are just going to hit before you use the next cloud step. So this is an important part of some complex windmill strats, is that knowing which cloud step you can milk and which cloud step you cannot milk to get the maximum height. You can always milk the cloud step. If there is going to be a windmill that hits after a certain windmill, you cannot milk that cloud step. So in this situation, the cloud step that I get from the first windmill throw, that is the third cloud step, I can't milk it. I need to use it as fast as possible. Oh wait, sorry, I messed that up a little bit. I can't milk the cloud step that's before that, because I need to use it as fast as possible. The second to last cloud step you can actually milk. So right now I'm getting 4 cloud steps. That was the third cloud step that I used, and then I used the fourth one. The third cloud step, I can milk it. Why can I milk the second to last cloud step? Because once I use the cloud step, I immediately get the next one, which is going to be my last one anyway. So I can milk that one. But the one that's before the 2 that I'm going to get very fast. So these 2, of course, are going to be very quickly after each other. So the second cloud step, actually, I can't milk it, because if I milk the second cloud step, I'm going to get the hit for the third one and then the hit for the fourth one immediately after that. And that's going to make me miss one. So there you go. I kind of lollygagged on my second cloud step. I milked my second cloud step too much. There you go. I milked my second cloud step. I didn't get a fourth one. So can't milk the second cloud step. As soon as you hear the hit, you want to use that cloud step. Right before the hit, actually. And then as soon as you hear the hit for the third cloud step, you want to use that one. So use the second cloud step. As soon as I get the hit for the third cloud step, I want to use it. I can milk the third cloud step, but I have to use it immediately. Because let's say I don't milk the second cloud step, right? The second one, I quickly just use it. Used it, right? I got the third one. But after getting the third one, I have to use it immediately, because otherwise I won't be able to get the fourth one. So there's 2 components to this that are important. The fact is that you cannot milk the second cloud step that much. You have to use it in preparation for the third one. And when you get the third cloud step, use it immediately, so that the fourth one actually gives you a cloud step, the fourth hit. There you go. And that's 4 cloud steps. So that might have been a little bit too much. But yeah, I think if you like tried yourself, you can get it down. The principles are pretty simple. Unfortunately, I can't show you 5 cloud steps from a lantern. It's probably possible. It's usually not used anywhere. The reason I can't show you is that the screen isn't high enough, and the windmill is gonna like despawn. If I go too high, I don't know if there's like a vertical screen that I can show it on. Yeah, I don't think so. But anyway, you usually don't want like 5 cloud sets from one lantern. That's just way too complicated. It's probably possible, but like you don't want that kind of stuff. The 4, this is the peak of it. You know, if you can get 4 from this one lantern, you're winning, right? You can, of course, combine this with the double hit as well. There you go, 4 cloud steps, and I used a double hit. Let me get all my windmill back. Now this is a little bit harder. The reason being that when you jump, so I throw these 2 windmills. When I jump, the second windmill is actually going to be higher than the third one because it takes it comes back later, so it tracks a position of the ninja that's actually higher than what the third windmill tracks. What the first windmill tracks, right? So this is going to be a little bit hard, but of course it's possible. I just got it. So yeah, you usually don't need to do something that's this complicated. You might want to, but yeah, as long as you can do this with the slashes, you should be good. Yes. Okay. Apart from this, the only things I really want to show you are just some things to keep in mind when you do a complex windmill climb. Because like I said, windmill is literally just about coming up with a strat and then executing it. That's it. It's not that much complicated. That much more complicated than that. English is really complicated though, apparently. So let me just I'm just going to give you some pointers for, you know, kind of getting better at windmill climbs. The first rule of a windmill climb is never throw all 3 of your windmill at once. It never does anything. Like, I just throw all 3 windmill, it does nothing. It doesn't do anything. Literally, it will never help you. Okay? You might say, oh, but you know, I can get 5 cloud steps from that one lantern by throwing all 3. It like almost never works. And if it does, there's almost always a better way to do it. I have never used a windmill strat where I throw all 3 windmill at once. It's just not good. So yeah, I recommend you just never do that. Never throw all 3 windmill at once. Obviously, throwing all 3 windmill is not bad. You know, if you want to do something like this, this is fine. This can work. Throwing all 3, like not having all 3 windmill at once is fine. But just throwing them all at the same spot for a windmill climb is just a no. Like this isn't doing anything. This is the same as 2 windmill. Right? So don't do that. I got this guy's back. The next one's gonna be that when you do a windmill climb, you want to generally try to avoid the wingsuit slash. The reason being that you're just gonna get a cloud step. Like if I try to wingsuit slash this lantern, I might just get a cloud step. Now this is not always true. This is not a hard and fast rule like the first one. Like the first one, I'm just gonna say never do it, never do it. But this one, like, if you want to do it, it's fine. If you have a windmill strategy that works every time and that it includes a windmill strat, sure, do it. But generally, try to avoid putting wingsuit flashes in your windmill climbs, because there's a very high chance you try to do the wingsuit flash and you just get a cloud step, like, you know, like that. I try to wingsuit slash that lantern. There's just a random windmill flying around and it just gives me a cloud step. The next rule is use your sword as much as possible. So the sword is the most reliable way. I can't stress this enough. The sword is more reliable than your windmill shuriken. 100%. If you can use a sword, like right here, if I can do this, I shouldn't be using windmill shuriken. I should not be doing something like this. It doesn't help. It doesn't do anything, right? If you can use a sword, don't use windmill. The next thing is to know your backups. So a good example is just this room itself. I usually go into this room with 2 windmill, and this is my start. My start is to do that. to that, this hits that, and then I get up here. I need to go through this time portal. If I go into this room with one windmill, the issue is that I can't throw this second one. So I need to make sure that I know that this is a backup. I do this, I delay this one a little bit, and then okay, I messed it up that time. One's perfect. That I actually didn't go into the room with the right amount of windmill. Throw two, go in. Make sure I know my backup. That time I wasn't thinking about it. Literally the thing I'm trying to teach. Delay this a little bit. Do that. I caught the first windmill. So backing up windmill strats can be hard because you're so muscle memoried up, and then having a reverse slash that guy rather than windmilling him, and that's my backup. So obviously I screwed up that backup a few times. This always happens when I make tutorials. But yeah, that's like a backup that I know. But the point that I'm trying to tell you is that the windmill strats are so complicated that it can actually be really difficult to back them up. If something goes wrong, like it's really hard to know what to do, because you're like in the middle of nowhere expecting to get a cloud step, and suddenly you don't get a cloud step, and it's like, oh my god, now what? It's just a practice thing. Just make sure you practice backups for windmill strats, or you make sure that they're 100% consistent. I usually do that. Just make sure it's completely consistent. Obviously, that doesn't mean I never miss it. You can still miss it, but you know, knowing backups is good, right? The third one is to be aware of the windmill limit. Now this is an issue for me. Right in this spot. This is why I chose this spot, because this spot actually highlights a lot of these things. This is the strat I usually do. Do that. Oh my god, I'm in the wrong time zone. You're usually gonna be entering this room. Do that. That hits. Reverse. That hits that. I go up like that. And then I go into this room with one windmill. What I would really like to do is to just throw a windmill at this, but I don't have any windmill. That doesn't work. You know, what I would like to do in this room is something like this. Throw, hit, throw, double hit, get up really fast, really nice. The problem is that I don't have these windmills. Like, I just don't have the Windmill Shuriken to do that. I go into this room with one windmill. So, like, I don't have this windmill. I don't know what happened there. that is something that you call windmill magic. Where sometimes windmill just literally just does something you want. But yeah, I don't have the windmill to throw at that lantern, so I do a different strat where I damage boost on these spikes. But the point is that you should know your windmill limit. You should know that you can run out of windmill. It is possible. It might seem insane that you have 3 of these regenerating windmill and that you can run out of them. It's possible, especially in fire mount. Right, so just know your windmill limit. The other one is consistency over speed. Make sure your strats are consistent. There are always ways to do this faster. You know, if I can get some kind of crazy climb that like gets me up really quick. But if it doesn't work every time, it's completely pointless. The whole shtick with windmill strats is you gotta make sure that they're consistent, because otherwise, just none of them are gonna work and it's just gonna be useless. So just always go for consistency when you do a windmill strat. The last one's pretty simple. Windmill climbs are not faster than rope dart climbing. So doing something like that, this room specifically, I could do something cool like that, get up like that. I mean, it's cool, you know, very nice. But this is what I do. Hit that guy, rope dart climb this wall. Rope dart climbing is always faster. If you can rope dart climb, just rope dart climb. That's it. That's the end of that. Now, some other things I want to tell you are how to improvise. Like I said, when windmill strats go bad, they go really bad. Like, if I do this, for example, and I mess it up, oh my god, I'm in the middle of nowhere, I don't know what to do, I don't have my windmills, I don't know what I'm doing, right? If you want to improvise, one thing you can do, obviously, is just don't use Windmill Shuriken. Just when your start goes wrong, just do the rest of it normally, just completely consistent. No windmill. But if you want to improvise with windmill and make your backups a little bit faster, here's some things that you can keep note of. One is that you want to calculate your throws, right? If I'm over here, I don't have a strat, I don't know what to do. I don't just do that. Like that doesn't do anything. Doesn't help. Just don't spam your windmill. Spamming windmill never helps, right? Make sure you know what you're throwing at. It's not that difficult, I go up here, I'd say, oh, there's a lantern here, let me double hit it. And then maybe I can get up there. It's not necessary that you'll get up. I don't know that I'm going to get up. I didn't reach this. Oh, okay, it's fine. I'll just throw a windmill at this and then get up. Calculate your throws. Just make sure every throw has a purpose. When you try to improvise, just do that. It's very simple. Just get up. That's not a strat that I've practiced before. That's just, I just kind of did it. It's not that hard. Let's say I'm over here. Let's say I'm actually over here. I want to get up from on this side. Double hit. I hit that guy maybe, and then go it up. Something like that. Just trying to improvise. Try that again. Double hit. Hit that. Maybe I hit this guy. Maybe I do something like that. I got up. There you go. This is not something I've practiced before. There you go. It's not that hard to improvise. Just make sure that you don't spam. Because if I got down here, I was like, oh my god, I need to get up. Just do that. Something like that. Yeah, I'm getting cloud steps, but like none of that is consistent. So just make sure you calculate your throws. The other thing is, I see a lot of people doing this. Look for a cloud step before jumping. Don't mass jump. You like throw all your windmill, and then you look for cloud steps, and oh my god, just jump. Don't do that. Look at your feet when you see the cloud step, jump. That's it. That's all I say. So I'm just gonna spam my windmill here, and I'm just gonna jump. That guy actually would make it really bad, but jump when I get a cloud step, and there you go. I can get up pretty. I just get up. Even if I just spammed my windmill, completely discarded the thing I just told you, and I still got up for the simple reason that I'm actually looking for cloud steps. So yeah, just don't mass jump. Look for a cloud step. When you get a cloud step, then you use it. Or if you want to wingsuit, just wingsuit. Don't mash jump, because then you'll get a cloud step in the middle. It'll be a short hop of the cloud step. It'll be completely useless, right? So yeah, make sure you have a cloud step before jumping. The other ones, again, the same thing. When you're improvising, be aware of the windmill limit. As before. I can't just throw a windmill at everyone. I can't just be like, oh my god, windmill. Oh my god, I'm out of windmill. Right? just make sure you be aware of your windmill limit. It's kind of hard to be aware of it when you're improvising, but you gotta try. Because if you're running out of windmill and you're trying to throw a windmill, it's gonna be a really bad day. The other thing is never count on low windmill. So like the thing I just showed you before doing this, don't do that when you improvise. Like maybe you can do it here, like this is a very simple sequence, right? Do that, and that. That's very simple. But if you're doing something more complex, like if you're in the air here, you'll be like, okay, I'm gonna throw a windmill shuriken here, and then it's gonna hit that lantern when I get up. Like that's not that stuff is not something you can improvise. You need to know where you throw the windmill so that it actually hits those lanterns. If you don't rely on this stuff. When you're improvising, always rely on windmilling things that are in front of you. You can rely on double hits. Double hits are very consistent. You can rely on that, right? But don't rely on, throw. Oh my god, this windmill that I just threw is gonna go around and hit something that's below. No, don't improvise using that, right? So yeah, that's gonna cover it really for windmill climbing. Past that point, I suggest you just look at strats, try to do them, and just maybe go into a room, try to come up with a windmill strat of your own. You want to practice the first few things I showed you, the windmill triple. The windmill double you definitely want to practice. Like the windmill double is by far the most important technique used in windmill. how to double a lantern with windmill, like that. The double. Extremely important. Is the most important thing that you can do with windmill. And it's very easy. You just gotta get the distance right, and you gotta get the height right. Like, make sure you're not like too high when you throw it. You're not gonna get a double hit. I can't even like mess it up on, but yeah, something like that. The last thing I want to mention is using windmill during yeet. So, if you're here, you've probably seen Ultra Steel. Ultra Steel is a strat that uses Windmill Shuriken. So let's go to Ultra Steel. I think it's probably one of the most famous windmill strats out there. I think Autumn Hills 1. Go. Ultra Steel is on the other side of this tree. Okay, wait, this tree has a hole in 60 feet. Okay. So this is Ultra Steel. Let me see if I can get it first try. Yeah, just to show you what it is in case you don't know. Oh my god, my game lagged. Yeah, my game always lags in that specific spot for some reason. let me try it one more time. That was pretty cursed. Go down here. So yeah, you want to go into this pool of water and then heal out from here. And you want to get up off that room. If you don't mess it up, like I just did, you're gonna get a pretty cool lead going. That this strat is called Ultra Steel. It's very cool. It's possible without windmill, but it's incredibly difficult. No one goes for it like that. Everyone goes for this strat with Windmill Shuriken. So you might be thinking, oh wow, so Windmill Shuriken is actually really useful for yeets as well, right? I am going to say that it's not. Like, yes, this is very cool and it allows you to get over this room with an extra cloud step. But generally, windmill is actually not that good for yeets. The reason this even works for Ultra Steel is you throw this one windmill and it gets you like a hit when you're way ahead of it. Problem with using windmill during yeets is that the windmill curve is just horrible. Like you see that the way Windmill Shuriken curves during yeets is so bad. What it does basically is it goes like it's so hard to explain this, but normally a windmill curves like this, right? Like kind of in an elliptical shape. When you're doing a yeet, you're moving so fast that it actually does not curve like an ellipse. It does an extremely weird cycloid kind of motion. Like you see that it goes ahead because you're moving forward at really fast speed, so it tries to catch up to you. When it catches up to you, it has to go backwards. But you're already so far ahead that it goes backwards very little, and then it tries to go back towards you. So like this thing that I'm doing is just an extremely specific thing that a setup that I've come up with that actually helps. Normally, if you're doing a yeet, try to avoid using Windmill Shuriken because it doesn't help. It just is gonna screw you. The windmill is just gonna fly all the way across the screen and hit random things, give you cloud steps when you don't need them. In Ultra Steel, it's useful because you need height. Of course, windmill gives you a lot of height. So it's actually useful here because we need height to get across this next room. But this stuff, it's just unreliable. And apart from specifically this trick, I would recommend you don't use windmill that much during yeets. And if you use windmill during a yeet, just use it for single hits. Never try to get a double hit during a yeet. It's not easy and not reliable. Unless you have like hours of practice on a certain yeet and getting a double hit off of a particular thing during the yeet, just don't go for double hits. You can go for single hits using windmill. That's not a problem. Like jump up like this, kind of do that. Oh my god, can't eat. If I want to do something like that, try to hit that fireball. That's fine. You can do that. Let's see if I can do like if I can actually show you what I'm talking about. Okay, let's try to hit the next guy. Okay. Okay, I can't even do it for some reason. But let me try doing it in the next room. Yeah, basically, the point is that you can go for single hits during a windmill yeet. It's completely fine. Don't go for something as complicated as that. You can go for something like this. You can try to windmill like that. Sure, it's fine. But yeah, just windmill is just not that good for yeets, so I recommend you stay away from it during yeets as much as possible. Or if you do want to use it during yeets, just use it for single hits. But yeah, that's actually going to wrap it up for the windmill tutorial. I hope this helped you learn some basic windmill techniques and kind of help you get over a fear of using windmill shuriken if you had that. Or if you're new, I hope it got you excited into trying out some windmill strats. In the description, I'm going to be linking a video where I go into a room in Fire Mountain, or not in Fire Mountain, but in the race in Picnic Panic, and try to come up with a complete windmill strat all on my own. Just a new windmill strat that I try for the first time during that video. And that hopefully will give you some insight into how I try to come up with my own windmill strats, and maybe it'll help you come up with your own as well. So that video will be linked down in the description. So be sure to check that out if you're having trouble, coming up with your own windmill strats, or if you just want to see my thought process that goes into creating my own windmill strats. But yeah, that's going to be it for this tutorial. I hope this helped you. Thank you for watching. Bye-bye.